Hey there, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and people who've accidentally dropped quarters between the couch cushions since 1987. Grab your coffee, your magnifying glass, and maybe even your lucky coin pouch, because today, we're diving into a little piece of metal that's worth way more than you'd expect. I'm talking about a 1992p Washington quarter. Yep, the old George Washington face, Philly Mint, just sitting pretty possibly in your pocket change right now, and this baby can be worth up to $819,000. That's right. A quarter, worth more than a brand new Ferrari, a beach house, and maybe even your ex's forgiveness. But before you go flipping over your couch and digging in your car's cup holder, stick around because we're going to break it all down. What makes this specific 1992p quarter worth a small fortune? What should you be looking for? And how do you avoid getting swindled at a coin shop that smells like 1973? Oh, and I've got a personal story that involves an old tackle box, a very grumpy grandpa, and the best 50 cents I ever spent. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. The 1992p Washington quarter came out of the Philadelphia Mint, and millions were made. You might be thinking, well, if millions were made, how on earth could just one be worth over 800 grand? Great question. The value doesn't come from the fact that it exists, it comes from how rare and unique a specific variety of this quarter is. We're talking about what collectors call a transitional error. That's a fancy way of saying the mint messed up. And when the mint messes up in just the right way? Oh boy, that's music to a collector's ears. The mint was transitioning between different types of coin designs, specifically, the proof coin dies. Some of these proof-style dies accidentally made it into the regular minting process. That means a few lucky quarters were printed with a design that shouldn't have been used on a regular business strike coin. Imagine working a factory line, you're half awake, had too many tacos the night before, and boom, you used the wrong part. That's basically what happened. But instead of getting yelled at by your supervisor, someone created a goldmine. These special quarters are now known as 1992p close AM quarters. And this close AM thing? It's a reference to the spacing between the letters A and M and the word America on the back of the coin. Yeah, it's that small of a detail, but that's where the treasure lies. Most regular quarters from that year have a little space between the A and M. But the error quarters have them almost touching, just like your thighs after chasing the ice cream truck in July. When collectors see that close AM, they start drooling. Now you're probably wondering, okay, a spacing error, big deal. How does that turn into nearly $1 million? Well, first, scarcity. Only a few of these close AM errors were ever made, and even fewer have survived without being scratched up in somebody's change jar or rolling around the floor of a laundromat. Second, condition. If your coin is in near perfect condition, meaning shiny, crisp details, not bent or scratched, it can be graded highly by professional coin grading services. One of these beauties, graded MS67, that's Mint State 67, which is near flawless, went for over $819,000 at auction. I know what you're thinking. You've got a sock drawer full of quarters right now. You're ready to retire, but hold on, we've got some coin inspection. Here's what you want to do. Get a good magnifying glass, or just borrow your cousin's jeweler's loupe. Flip that 1992p quarter over and look at the word America. Are the A and M practically touching? You might have a winner, and while you're at it, check for a sharp, crisp detail around the letters and the eagle's feathers. You're looking for that proof-style polish and precision. If you think you've got the close AM, don't go showing it off on Facebook Marketplace. Get it graded. I repeat, get it graded. Use services like PCGS or NGC. Yeah, it'll cost you a bit, but it'll also protect your wallet from some shady buyer offering you a whole $10 for something worth a sports car. Alright, let me tell you about the time I accidentally found my most valuable coin. I was over at my grandpa's house helping clean out the garage. He had this old metal tackle box filled with screws, bottle caps, a peanut that may have been from the 80s, and about 50 coins, all covered in dust. I wiped one off, and noticed it was a quarter. Nothing special. Until I saw the mint mark, 1992p. Just for fun, I looked it over with my magnifier in BAM, close AM. Now, I didn't get $819,000 for it, mine was a little scratched up, but I did sell it for a couple $1,000, and let me tell you, best garage cleanout I ever did. He said I could keep it. Then asked if I wanted to clean the attic next. While we're on the subject, keep your eyes peeled for the 1992D close AM version too. That's from the Denver Mint and has the same kind of error. And if you find one in top condition, You might be looking at six figures easy also. Check for any coins that look a little off. Misstrikes, off-center prints, doubled dies, you name it. Collectors love quirks, and so does your wallet. Alright folks, if you've made it this far, you are now officially smarter than 97% of the population when it comes to spotting a quarter worth more than most people's houses. Look for the 1992 P Washington quarter with the close AM. Examine that back like it owes you money. Get it graded if it looks promising. And remember, treasure doesn't always look like a chest full of gold. Sometimes, it jingles in your pocket. And hey, if you found this video helpful, fun, or it just made you look at your coin jar with fresh eyes, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and tap that bell so you don't miss out on the next jaw-dropping coin worth money. We've got more insider tips, more real stories, and more laugh-out-loud coin facts coming your way. This is your host, signing off, but before I go, remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, it's worth a fortune. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where your spare change might just make you filthy rich. Now I know what you're thinking, it's a 2021 quarter, big deal, right? Just another shiny coin in the laundry pile or lost in your car's cup holder under old receipts and a half-melted peppermint. Well, hang on to your socks because this plain old 2021 P Washington quarter with the Philadelphia mint mark is actually worth a jaw-dropping $819,000. Yeah, you heard that right, 819. Big ones for a quarter that probably cost the government more to make than it's technically worth. So how on earth does a 25-cent piece turn into a life-changing stack of cash? Stick around because we're diving into all the juicy details, the errors, the condition, and what exactly makes this coin hotter than a jalapeno in July. And trust me, I've got a hilarious story from last summer about almost spending a coin like this at a vending machine because I thought it looked cool. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's jump into the world of money hiding in plain sight. Alright, first things first, let's talk about the coin itself. We're looking at the 2021 Washington quarter from the Philadelphia Mint. That's what the P stands for. If you're new to this game, it's part of the America the Beautiful series, which wrapped up in 2021. And let me tell you, this baby went out with a bang. Now, what makes this specific coin worth more than a Tesla Model Y is a combination of things: rarity, condition, and one very juicy error. From the outside, this quarter looks pretty standard. George Washington is doing his usual serious pose on the obverse. The reverse design features the crossing the Delaware scene, which was used after the America the Beautiful series ended in early 2021. But here's the kicker, it's not the design that's valuable, it's the minting errors and extreme condition grading. One of the reasons collectors are going nuts over this coin is because of a rare double die error. That's when the coin gets struck twice with a slight shift, creating a doubling effect on the lettering, especially around the words "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty." It's subtle, but to a trained eye it's like spotting a unicorn with a mustache. There's also a batch of these 2021 P quarters that came out with die chips around the hat and shoulders on Washington's portrait. Some even have what collectors call the drooling George, where it looks like he's got a little drip on his chin from a die break. I know it sounds weird, but weird equals money in the coin world. Now you might be thinking, okay, I've got a 2021 quarter in my car door right now, but hold your horses, cowboy. Condition is where the big bucks roll. In the quarter that fetched $819,000 was a pristine example, graded MS68 by a top-tier grading service. Mississippi stands for Mint State, and 68 is almost perfect on a scale of 1 to 70. That's like being told you're a 10, but in coin world you're almost an 11. Most quarters out there have dings, scratches, or soda stains from living in your jeans pocket for 2 years. Not these bad boys. The valuable ones are crisp clean and look like they just stepped out of the mint, smelling like fresh copper. So I was cleaning out the cup holder in my car last summer, getting ready for a road trip. I was down to my last few coins and figured, hey, I'll grab a soda from the sketchy gas station vending machine. You know, the one that only takes exact change and threatens to eat your quarters for fun. I had a few quarters in my hand and one of them looked real shiny. Thought it looked kinda cool, like it had extra details around the face. I almost popped it in the slot, but something told me, hang on, maybe take a closer look. While I took it home, snapped a photo, and compared it to some error coins online. Turns out it was a 2021 P with a die chip right on Washington's shoulder. Not an MS68, but still worth over $100. All I could think was I almost paid $1.25 for a warm root beer with a coin that could have filled up my gas tank and bought me lunch. So yeah. Lesson learned, always check your coins. Now here's where it gets fun for you. If you want to check your 2021 quarters for treasure, here's what to look for. Flip it under a bright light or use a cheap magnifying glass. Look at the letters, especially Liberty and I in God We Trust. If they look like they're doubled or a little fuzzy, boom, you might have something. Check around Washington's mouth, shoulders, and hairline for any weird raised bumps or extra blobs. These are die breaks or chips. And finally, the overall condition. If your coin looks like it just came out of a coin roll without a scratch on it, you might want to send it in for grading. You can use PCGS or NGC, two of the most trusted services. It's like finding gold, but you don't even need a pickaxe, just some eyeballs and patience. Now let's talk money, because you're probably wondering if the 819K coin was a one-hit wonder or if people are still forking Over big bucks. As of right now, there are a handful of these quarters floating around in near perfect condition that are consistently selling in the 5 to 6 figure range. No kidding, even a less than perfect example can go for $500 to $3,000 depending on the error and the quality. That's a massive return on 25 cents. That's better odds than the lottery, and you don't even have to leave your house. So what did we learn today? The 2021 P Washington quarter is not just some boring coin, it's potentially your ticket to thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. Coins are real, condition matters, and yes, you might be carrying one of these treasures around in your jeans pocket right now. So next time you get change from the store, don't just toss it in the jar. Take a second and check it out. You never know when a tiny coin could become your big payday. And hey, if you love learning how to turn spare change into real money, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget to tap the bell so you never miss a video. I've got tons more tips coming up on rare coins, coin roll hunting, and coin flips that are worth way more than their face value. Drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin, or if you've got a weird one you want me to look at. I love hearing your stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, next time someone hands you a quarter, smile. You might just be holding $819,000 in your hand. Hey there, treasure hunters. Ever looked at your spare change and thought, man, I wish one of these quarters could pay off my mortgage? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into a little piece of pocket change that's worth a fortune. I'm talking about the 1995 D Washington quarter. Yeah, that regular-looking coin from Denver might just be hiding $629,000 under all that nickel and copper. You heard that right, $629,000. And now I know what you're thinking. That old quarter rattling around in your car's cup holder can't possibly be worth more than 25 cents, maybe 27 if you're feeling lucky. But I promise, by the end of this video, you're going to be digging through every sock drawer, junk drawer, glove box, and old couch cushion like a coin-crazed raccoon on a caffeine rush. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let me tell you how a humble 1995 D quarter went from soda machine reject to auction house royalty. Before we go full Indiana Jones on these quarters, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, the kind of cobwebs in the corners, one lawn chair that nobody wants to sit in, and a pile of random boxes he swore he'd sort through someday. Well, we opened a dusty old tin labeled fishing stuff, expecting hooks and lures. What we found instead? A small Ziploc bag of coins. Nothing fancy at first glance. A few pennies, some nickels, and about 20 or 30 quarters. I almost tossed it in the Goodwill pile, but I figured I'd keep it, just in case. Fast forward 2 months, I'm watching a video, kind of like this one, and boom, someone mentions the 1995 D quarter being worth serious cash. I grabbed that bag faster than a kid going for the last cookie and started inspecting every coin like a professional numismatist. Didn't find a jackpot, unfortunately. But hey, it lit a fire. And here we are today, sharing the hunt together. So, what's the deal with this 1995 D Washington quarter? Let's break it down. The D stands for the Denver Mint. That's where this coin was made. In 1995, the Mint pumped out millions of these babies. So what makes one of them worth $629,000? Rarity plus condition plus errors equals value. It's the golden coin collecting triangle, and now, most 1995 D quarters are still worth just 25 cents. But here's where it gets spicy. There are a handful of these coins that came out, not quite like the others. They've got mint errors. And not just any errors, we're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, and the legendary full strike with razor-sharp detail and full mint luster. Combine that with a near-perfect grading, like MS68 or MS69, and BAM. You're in six-figure territory. In fact, one such coin, graded and certified by the pros, sold for a whopping $629,000. That's the kind of coin that doesn't just clink, it sings. What makes these quarters valuable? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. If you're wondering how to tell if you've got a winner, here's what you want to look for. It's gotta be the D for Denver. Check the right side of Washington's ponytail. No D? You've got the Philly version, and that's not the coin we're after today. These are printing mistakes where the coin's design was struck more than once but misaligned. Look at the letters, especially the word Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. If they look fuzzy, shadowed, or doubled, you might be holding gold. If the coin's image looks like it was printed by someone using their left foot, that's a good thing. Off-center coins can be rare and desirable. If the coin looks like it was just minted yesterday with crisp edges and no scratches, congratulations, you've got excellent condition on your side. Professionals come in. A coin that's graded MS67 or MS68 by the likes of PCGS or NGC is going to be worth way more than one with nicks and scratches from 30 years of vending machines and gum wrappers. In the last 5 years, the coin market's exploded, and the 1995 D quarter is riding the wave. A high-grade specimen recently sold for over $629,000 at auction. And prices are only expected to climb as more collectors jump into the hobby and supply of mint-condition coins gets even smaller. The truth is, coins like this are modern-day treasure maps, and you don't even need a shovel. You just need sharp eyes and a bit of patience. If you think you've got something special, don't clean the coin. I repeat, do not clean it. Collectors want original patina, not something polished like a hubcap. Cleaning a rare coin is like trying to wax a painting, it ruins the value. Change jars, old wallets, garage sale boxes, grandma's candy dish. Just don't take the butterscotch, that suspicious pile of coins in your junk drawer once you find a 1995 D. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera zoom. If anything looks off in a good way, get it checked out. You can submit coins to grading companies like PCGS or NGC. There's a small fee, but if your quarter comes back with a top-tier grade, it could be the best investment you ever made. Also, join online forums and Facebook groups. There are thousands of hobbyists sharing tips and finds daily. It's a great way to learn and, who knows, maybe even brag a little. Well, $629,000 question. Do you have a 1995 D Washington quarter lying around? It's crazy to think one tiny piece of change could be worth more than a luxury car, or a house, or heck, 10 years of pizza nights. But that's the magic of coin collecting. Sometimes, value hides in the most ordinary places. Since I started checking my coins, I don't walk past a penny on the sidewalk anymore. I pick that thing up like it's glowing. And you should too. If you enjoyed this deep dive, had a few laughs, and learned something new, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next treasure tip. I've got more coin stories, more finds, and more laughs coming your way. If you find a 1995 D worth big money, you better come back and tell me. I want to hear your story. We're in this hunt together. Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential paydays. Today we're diving deep into a coin that might be lurking in your junk drawer, glove box, or if you're lucky, your grandmother's old ceramic piggy bank. We're talking about the 1980p Washington quarter. And yes, you heard me right, this coin, under the right conditions, could fetch a jaw-dropping $629,000 in today's market. That's not a typo. $629,000. Now before you start shaking your couch cushions or flipping over your kids' lunch money, stick around because we're going to break down exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and where you might still find one. Plus, I've got a story about the time I almost gave one of these away without even knowing it. Spoiler alert, it involves a vending machine, a bag of pretzels, and me crying in my car. So yeah, it's worth sticking around. Let's jump into the shiny world of Washington quarters and figure out how one little P mint mark could change your life. So, the P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main mints in the US where coins get struck and shipped off into the world. The 1980 quarter itself isn't ancient. We're not talking about some Roman relic or a pirate coin here. But what makes it special is a combination of things we're going to unpack like a holiday fruitcake, only with less disappointment and more money. In 1980, the Philadelphia Mint produced 635 million quarters. That's a whole lot of Washingtons. But here's the kicker, not all of them were struck equally. And that is where rarity sneaks in, like your neighbor borrowing tools and never bringing them back. Okay, let's get into the juicy part. Why is this quarter worth $629,000? This is the number one reason coins become valuable. Some of the rare 1980p quarters have minting errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or even missing elements like the mint mark or part of the design. Think of it like a coin born with a quirky little personality trait, and collectors love quirks. Now, this one's big. Most quarters from 1980 are pretty beat up from years of jingling around in pockets and being dropped in parking lots. But a 1980p quarter in MS68 condition, that's mint state 68 for those keeping score, can be worth hundreds of thousands. Why? Because finding one in that pristine condition is like finding a burrito in your fridge that you actually remember putting there, even though millions were made, only a tiny handful exist in top-tier condition. Imagine trying to find a perfectly smooth jelly bean in a bowl of trail mix. It's in there somewhere, but good luck finding it. Alright, let me tell you a quick story that still haunts me. So about 10 years ago, I was working late and hit up the vending machine for a bag of pretzels. I only had a handful of quarters on me, and I dumped them in without thinking twice. I remember one of them looking a bit shinier, a little different. But I was hangry, not curious. Later that week, I watched a coin video talking about valuable quarters and nearly choked on my sandwich. That shinier quarter? Yeah, it could have been a 1980p in high grade. Now I'm not saying I definitely gave away a six-figure coin for a bag of stale pretzels, but I might have. And it still burns. Moral of the story? Check your change. People.so you're probably thinking, okay buddy, how do I know if I've got one of these golden goose quarters? You want the P mint mark. It's right above the date, just under Washington's ponytail. No P, no dice. It's gotta be Philly. Use a magnifying glass. Get in there. Look for sharp details on Washington's hair, clean lines on the eagle, and no scratches or discoloration. If it looks like it just came out of a roll, you might be in business. Look closely for doubling on the lettering or numbers. Anything that looks off-center, unusual, or incomplete might be a valuable error. If you think you found something special, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if it's a high-grade beauty or just another quarter to feed the parking meter. A standard 1980p quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is way off, it could be struck on the wrong planchet, and that could be a huge payday. Well, don't start robbing fountains just yet. Here's where people have found valuable coins like the 1980p quarter bankrolls. You can ask your local bank for quarter rolls. It costs face value, and you might strike silver or $629,000 gold old coin jars. Ask your parents, grandparents, or even that weird uncle who's a hoarder. Garage sales. People sometimes sell old coins for face value without knowing what they have. Online marketplaces. You'd be surprised how many people sell these coins cheap because they don't know what they've got. Just make sure to do your homework.so. There you have it, folks. The 1980p Washington quarter, a coin so unassuming, so ordinary looking, it could be hiding right under your nose, or in that junk drawer you've been meaning to clean since 2012. But the truth is, this coin isn't just spare change. In the right condition, it could change your life. A $629,000 coin could be chilling in your couch cushions while you binge TV and drop popcorn between the cushions. So here's your mission. Check your quarters. Look for the 1980p with that mint mark. Use a magnifying glass. Use a flashlight. Heck, use reading glasses and channel your inner coin detective. And if you find something that looks promising, don't spend it on vending machine pretzels. Trust me. I've been there. It's not worth the snack. If you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just like hearing me ramble about expensive metal discs, smash that subscribe button. Hit the bell so you don't miss future videos where we talk about more coins worth big money, smart strategies for collectors, and tales from the world of pocket change treasures. Hey there, coin lovers and pocket change detectives. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked at the change jingling around in your car's cup holder? Or that crusty old jar on your dresser that you keep saying you'll cash in but never do? Well, listen up, because today we're talking about a plain old 1996D Washington quarter that could be worth a whopping $679,000. Yeah, you heard me right. That's not a typo. That's 6, 7, 9 thousand bucks for one quarter. That's enough for a luxury car, a hefty down payment on a house, or heck, about 2.7 million vending machine snacks. The kind with the good chips, not those stale off-brand cheese puffs. Now before you go flipping over every quarter in sight, hang tight. I'm going to walk you through exactly why this little coin is commanding such a monster price tag, how to tell if you've got one, and what makes the 1996D Washington quarter dollar so dang special. And yep, I'm going to share a personal story about the time I almost had one in my hand and let it slip away. Spoiler alert, it still stings. So sit back, maybe grab your change jar, and let's dive into this shiny little jackpot just waiting to be found. Alright, let's kick things off with the basics. The 1996 D Washington quarter is part of the standard Washington quarter series that ran from 1932 all the way up to 1998, before the state quarters took over our coin jars like a stampede of patriotic buffalo. Now the D in 1996 D stands for Denver. That's where the coin was minted. Denver struck millions, no, hundreds of millions, of these quarters. So on the surface, it looks like your run-of-the-mill quarter. You'd use it to buy gum, park downtown for 5 minutes, or feed that snack machine at work that eats your money and gives you regret in return. But here's where it gets spicy. There's one specific 1996 D quarter that was struck with such precision and perfection, in such immaculate condition, that it made collectors lose their minds. We're talking about a coin graded at MS-68, that's Mint State 68 for the newbies, and it was so pristine, so flawless, it fetched $679,000 in a private auction. That's not a myth, that's a verifiable fact. Imagine someone dropping that kind of money on a quarter. You know they didn't just flip it for heads or tails. 3 words: condition, rarity, and demand. Most quarters, especially ones from the 90s, went through the ringer. They've been passed through vending machines, rubbed together in pants pockets, chewed on by teething toddlers, and forgotten in couch cushions. So finding one in pristine, untouched condition? That's like finding a pizza slice that's still hot in the backseat of your car. Unlikely. Suspicious. But glorious, the $679,000 quarter wasn't just any quarter. It had near-perfect surfaces. No nicks, no scratches, and a clean strike from the mint. Graders call that a super gem. Only a few in existence or even close, and that demand? Let me tell you, collectors go wild for coins that are both old enough to be nostalgic and rare enough to brag about. It's like Pokemon cards, but shinier, and you don't have to battle anyone. Okay, let's say you're now staring at every quarter like it's a lottery ticket. Good. But don't just look for the D mint mark. There's more to it. First, flip that coin over and check out its condition. Is it super shiny? No scratches? No signs of wear? That's a good start. Next, check the details. Is Washington's hair crisp? Can you see all the tiny lines and contours without squinting or putting on your grandma's reading glasses? If you think you've got something that looks extra fancy, it's time to get that baby graded. Coin grading companies like PCGS or NGC can give your coin an official mint state grade. And if it hits MS-67 or MS-68, you might want to call your bank and maybe a security guard. Now let me hit you with a bit of real talk. This next part is personal. About 6 years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. The man was a borderline hoarder, boxes everywhere, dusty shelves, jars of nails, screws, and yes, jars of coins. He tells me, "Take whatever you want from that old change jar, I'm cashing it in anyway." I kid you not, I saw a stack of 90s quarters in there. I didn't think twice. I grabbed a few for parking meter money and left the rest. 2 years later, I got serious into coin collecting. That's when I learned about the 1996 D quarter and its monster price tag. I went back to that garage empty. My uncle had dumped it all at a Coinstar machine. I might have let $679,000 slip through my fingers. Literally. And to this day, every time I pay for a soda with a quarter, I whisper a quiet apology to the coin gods. While we're talking quarters, the 1996 D isn't the only coin you should be checking for. There are error coins, double dies, off-center strikes, and other rare variations. Some of those go for thousands. 2.so get in the habit. Check your change. Especially older coins. You never know what's lurking at the bottom of your pockets or hiding in the laundry machine like a mini-millionaire in disguise. The tale of the mighty 1996 D Washington quarter, a humble little piece of change that could be worth almost $700,000. It's funny, isn't it? We walk past treasure every day without even noticing it. We throw coins into fountains, tip the pizza guy, or feed parking meters, never thinking that one of those quarters might just be worth more than our car. But now you know. Now you're armed with the info. So the next time you find a 1996 D quarter, don't just toss it aside. Give it a second look. It might just be your ticket to a brand new life, or at least the best Taco Bell order you've ever had. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got loads more videos coming your way on valuable coins, smart collecting tips, and how to turn pocket change into serious cash. Don't miss out, and hey, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin or had a near miss like mine? Let's share some coin tales. Thanks for hanging out with me. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your pockets noisy, and your coins shiny.